Hello. Well, things are changing yet again. I've been sitting here just boo-hooing. Um, I'm just opening up in and it's good. Okay, nothing to be sad about here. Even though the boo-hooing was a certain sadness, and I'll share that in a minute. But um, and I don't even know what's going on with the text files that so far have gone with all of my videos. I might stop doing those for a while. I just don't know. Um, I've been doing them right along and had joy in them. And then things changed, and all of a sudden I couldn't find any joy anymore in typing as I was listening to the recording and trying to come up with a text file that kind of covered what was in the recording. The joy went out of that. And it became a drudgery that I was having to force myself to do until I woke up and I said, wait a minute, follow your bliss, right? What are you doing forcing yourself into anything? And so you've been witness to that. And they went from being a quote unquote transcript to a text companion. Well, now, folks, I've got half a dozen videos to which I've done no text work at all. I mean, I'm liable to start putting them up with one of those things that says no description available or something. I don't know what's going on. But here's why I came to you now. Here's why I turned the camera on. And pardon my red nose, I've been crying. I've been pulled back from things for maybe 10 days or so, a couple weeks. I still have an email box, with over 100 emails in it, and for me that's a lot. Remember, I'm a hermit here, right? This whole thing going online is really changing my life. And I'm with it. I'm loving it. Okay, I knew I was going through stuff. I was feeling kind of off and strange and different and so on. And I was just being private with that. It was like, well, whatever it is, I'll work through it and then, I'll come back to it. Okay, so then there was this morning. I did 3 videos in a row, and the dam broke. All of a sudden, the movement that was wanting to happen all along, the movement of this energy, the breakthrough, the cutting through it, the getting the flow going again, all of a sudden it's here. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, duh, you know? Um, it's almost as if I have to journal. That's my process. And without it, the energy doesn't move. It's a part of me somehow. Now, it's been a private part of me, and now it's become a public part of me. Um, but in pulling back from being public with it, I hung myself out to dry for a while. Unintentionally, thoroughly unintentionally. I mean, we do what we do with the best of intentions, right? We think we're doing the right thing. Well, and that's good. So we should do that. And I did. And I just wanted to share that as soon as I turned the camera on and just let it fly, the rivers are moving again. Now, I'll just share with you um, what I saw that's had me in tears like this. I don't know if I can do this. I know people take their webcams and they point them at the screen all the time. Let me see if I can get this image up here. It is so sad. I'm on YouTube, And in the bright glare, let's see, it's New Day Dawning site, and I've spent many an hour here. Whoops, hush, please.
Mai 2007. Dieses rätselhafte Wesen gerät in eine Falle auf einer Farm in Mexiko. Der Bauer ertränkt die Lebensform aus Angst. Seit Ende 2008 wird der Kadaver wissenschaftlich untersucht und der
Well, I'm not going to do this. It's a very, very sad picture of a captured ET. It's a zeta reticulum, or it's in the body that has the shape of the grays. And it's so pathetic, it just absolutely made me weep. It's sitting, and it's bent all the way over forward, you know, arms kind of around knees, with the head down practically to the ground, in just the hopeless, captive state. And it just breaks my heart. It just does, that anyone would take anyone's liberty away or treat them harshly. It, you know, even among the grays, also called the Dows, Zeta Reticulans, and there are a lot of them that are clones and robot types, and that are heartless and so on, and those aren't the real beings. Among the real beings are some wonderful, wonderful beings. The story of their race is very sad. Their whole race was captured. The Andromedans tell the story through Alex Collier about how they were down in numbers. They were actually captured as a race by the Draconians, or, you know, one reptilian race or another, and enslaved. And I think most of their women were killed off, and they were prevented from breeding, and now it's the end of their race. That's why they have all these clones and things, and that's why they've been working like crazy with genetics in order to try to extend their future as a race. I think there are less than 2,000 of them still living. Now, there are many more, like I say, but they're the clones and the robots, and they're not real, and they're not something I have compassion for. Oh, I don't know. This is the higher chakras opening, and it's just all so new to me. Thank God for Ho'oponopono, and for those that cleared the way, so that we have this beautiful way to release and to pray for forgiveness and to forgive and to love and to heal, not just ourselves, but others as well. And you know, friends, when you're praying for someone or something, don't pray just for the one in front of you there. Pray for the whole class or category of them. Pray for all of them. If you're praying for a dead possum by the road, let your blessings expand to all the possums everywhere, or to all the dead little animals by the road. It's time to start recognizing that things are not individual as much as we have been led to think they are. It's time to begin working more with the energy that's behind the scenes than the singleton that we're looking at in front of us. And so it's bizarre in a way, because terrible cruelties have been practiced by some of these zetas, some of these grays, just terrible cruelties. And yet, let us not be cruel. Let us not descend into cruelty. in response, but let us be transcendent instead. Let it all dissolve in such love and freedom and forgiveness and compassion, such heartfelt growth and shiningness that it's consumed. Remember, it's also very real on the one side of the coin, what we're dealing with here. And it's okay to get into the depth of it. It's important to do so. On the other side of the same coin, it's a game. It's a play. And so it's also good to rise above it. I just find heart the perfect placement for any and all of this. But I wanted to share that I think I've been around the block often enough now to know that I could have tried forever to work through, to wait it out, to do whatever to get the energies moving that have been holding me back of late. And what was needed was to let it flow with the journals. And all of a sudden, oh my goodness, here I am again, you know. And that's a beautiful thing. And so there's something alchemical there. And at this point, I can't explain it. It's a heart thing. So you don't have to, you know, plaster your face on YouTube for the world to see. But you can do a private thing. I journaled privately for like 40 years, okay? Or more. And I still have the huge bulk of that. What, you know, little loss here and there through the years, but it's a tremendous impetus for growth. It's an internal communion. It's a flow. It enables a figure eight flow between you and your higher self, if you want to look at it that way. Or between the body and the heart, or the mind and the heart. I don't know. You pick it. You put it together your way. It doesn't matter. Let's deal with what's behind the scenes and get off the surface of everything. It's not the surface that's rising here. Okay? And I know I'm not different than anyone else, so pardon me for being a little stuffy with my tears and things, but you know, it's very good. Take what emotion comes your way. Be sure that you're in heart. And I said a prayer at a certain point, and here's why. When I'm figuratively wrapping my arms around this captive being and just weeping for the suffering that's been inflicted there, and praying and calling for forgiveness, and you know, the whole thing, I had to pause because so many of the grays are the epitome of cruelty, heartlessness, automatons, clones, robots. And some of the live ones are in charge of that, or they wouldn't be making them and having them do these things so callously, so cruelly, so coldly to humankind, you know, with never a concern about our free will, our integrity, our freedom. And so I did. I paused to make a call that higher self would see to it that I wasn't inviting a thorn into my side and taking in something that would or could do harm to me. So I don't know if that part made any sense to very many of you. But anyway, here's another video for today, 4 and counting. Have a good one.